Hi God, thanks for the shine. Okay, so this time we have earbuds in, and then the earbuds have a microphone because we want to hear if we hear an echo, right? So we're working on the sound now. We're working on the sound, okay? So we're gonna do a bit, right? So we're gonna have a conversation. God, check this one out right here, right? So we wish to talk about. We got this bit from a friend, Sharon You. Shout out to Sharon You. Hi, Sharon You. Right? I like that. Sharing you. That's what I think, man. Double words, man. I just see words all over the place, right? But she pointed me to Assembly Bill number 2098, right? And that's out here in California, right? So I was like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and see what this bill looks like, right? So then I hopped online and then I typed up Assembly Bill 2098, right? And then it brought me to a bill, right? And then there was some type of legislation, right? But this is what it says, right? So we're going to read the words of what this bill allegedly says, right? So just remember, these bills are all for our public servants, right? So our public servants go and then they make up bills, codes and statutes that then bind whatever jurisdiction that we've created for them, meaning for all the corporations and all the businesses and anybody who has a license or a registration, they all have to adhere to those things, right? Because the lawmakers are supposed to create rules that protect our markets, right? We the people have markets where we go out there and then we seek goods and we seek services and things like that with people who have knowledge, right? So we're like, hey, an example of someone with knowledge would be a doctor, right? A doctor would be someone who can show me or pick out the right words that will help my body become one or become whole, right? So now what they seem to be doing with this bill is right here is that the public servants want to control what the doctors can tell their people, right? This is gonna be fun, right? So check this one out right here. All right, so here goes what this bill is, AB 2098, right? So we got it right here. Let me see. Can you see that? All right, let's white balance that. Right, so we downloaded it, right? So we always got to show our P caps, right? So once you can see our P caps, white balance again, right? Once you can see the P caps, then you know where we're getting our words from, man. We're getting them from the source, right? This is where our public servants, they get their words from, right? Because then they say, well, it's the law, right? So somebody has written up an act. Right, an act is no law. It's just something that, it's like a guideline for our public servants, right? So then they get to look at these things, right? But when the people wake up and then the people read these things and we're seeing like you're interfering with our business, man. What are you doing? It's like, why are you making it so difficult for our people to get help from what we call servants, right? Why are you doing that? Okay, public servant, this is what we want to know, right? And this is going to be an example of how they make up words, right? And then the words cause confusion. We call that war, right? And then when they hand over our trust to someone else, we call that treason, right? Then it's like, you're just making it hard for us to be happy. You're making it hard for us to be safe. You're making it hard for us to be private, man. And then once we see that, we're coming after you, man. We're coming to get you, right? Because so check this out over here, right? We got a maxim, we got a couple of them, right? These are maxims in commerce, right? Maxims in commerce, right? Here goes the first one. Let the buyer beware. Simple, right? Simple, okay? Here's another one. Let the purchaser beware. Simple, okay? Here's another one. Let the seller beware. That's it, man. So, buyer, beware. Purchaser, beware. Seller, beware, right? So you need to know what it is that you're buying. You need to know what it is that you're selling. And you need to know what it is that you're purchasing. It's that simple, which means you need to have knowledge, right? And that's just what we do. So now when our public servants try to make it hard for, buyers, purchasers, and sellers to do what they need to do in the market, we're coming after you now, man, because we're going to have to instruct you, public servant, right? So check this out right here. This is what their words are right here. This is how they try to slow down the market of our health and healing services, right? Scary simple, right? Okay, so here we go. Here goes the words from AB 2098. Ready? Here we go. An act to add section 2270 to the Business and Professions Code relating to healing arts. Okay, remember that, relating to healing arts. Ready? Here we go. Legislative Council's Digest. Okay, here goes AB 2098. low. Physicians and surgeons, unprofessional conduct, right? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Let's get it, right? Existing law provides for the licensure and regulation of physicians and surgeons by the Medical Board of California. Delegated power. That's what we call delegated power, right? And the Osteopathic Medical Board of California, another delegated power, and that's also a deputy, right? Which means they have no power, right? Existing law requires the applicable board to take action against any licensed physician and surgeon who is charged with unprofessional conduct as provided. So you're going to charge our public servants now. I see. Okay, let's see what's up, board. Let's see where you think you get your power from, board, right? You know, this bill will designate the dissemination of misinformation or disinformation related to some type of illness, right? Or whatever that illness is named as unprofessional conduct. Okay, you know, so if someone talks about what they would call a sickness, right? And then if it's not going with someone else's words, you're going to call that misinformation. By what power? By what authority can you call something misinformation? I don't think you can, right? This bill would also make findings and declarations in this regard, right? Here we go. The people of the state of California do enact as follows. I'm one of the people, and I am not enacting this. And I'm going to find my public servants now, and I want to know why they're trying to use we the people as the ones that are enacting this, right? We didn't give you power to do this. We didn't give you authority to do this, right? So we're going to come after you, public servant. We'll see you in the future. All right, here we go. Section 1. The legislature finds and declares all of the following. A, the global spread of the virus, or whatever the virus was, has claimed the lives of over a lot of people worldwide by nearly 90,000 people in California. Really? Okay, let's check this out. Data from the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, aka CDC, shows that unjabbed individuals are at risk of dying from this virus. That is 11 times greater than those who are fully vaccinated. Really? Okay. Right. I don't even want to read the rest because this just sounds like silliness. But no, let's read it. The safety and efficacy of this jab have been confirmed through evaluations by the Federal Food and Drug Administration, FDA. Delegated power, delegated authority, deputy. You have no power, FDA. All right, let's keep it going. And these substances continue to undergo intensive safety monitoring by the CDC. This is interesting, you know, so what we have here, oh, Margarita Monday. My wife made this one for me. Let's have a sip. So we're reading how they're using deputies, which have no power, because all of our public servants are delegated power, right? So now they're trying to delegate power to a deputy, which they can't do, right? They can't do that, man. That's just the maxim, right? So let's just keep it going, right? You know, CDC, delegated power, deputy, no power, no ability. FDA, delegated power, you know, deputy, no ability, no power. They have no control over we the people. Remember that, right? Here's another one. The spread of misinformation and disinformation about this sickness has weakened public confidence and placed lives at serious risk. That's true, right? You know, like when the people here, let me show you what information is, right? Information. Information is a two-word word. Inform means to shape, right? Into shape. So you got to give the words shape so then you can see how they work, right? You know, and then mis means not, right? You know, so if they don't give you shape, then you don't get an information, right? That's what misinformation is, not shape, not form, right? And inform means image. Like I am in the image of God because God made man in the image of God, right? So I am in the form of what God looks like. Serious. All men, all women, all people, all children, we're all in the image of God, right? So we have the form of God. Okay? Scary simple, right? I mean, you might not like that, but that's true because it's in the book, man. Fact. Okay, let's keep it going, right? So that's what form is, right? Likeness, resemblance, right? you know, and then, you know, Morpheus was fun too, because that means dream. And then here's the other one, consent, right? You know, when you have consent, that is a 2-word word, con, C-O-N, and then sent, S-E-N-T, right? And then sent means to fill, right? So you must be able to fill with together to fill, right? You know, so when someone says that I have consent, right, that means together you fill, right? You're on the same page, man, information, right? You know, so misinformation and disinformation, you know, that basically means that, did you get consent? You know, did you get the knowledge? Did they give you notice, right? You know, so if a physician or a doctor or a surgeon wishes to serve notice to the people and send them knowledge, right? You know, because that's what I want. I want knowledge, right? You know, so I want all my public servants to give me knowledge and show me knowledge, and I want complete knowledge, right? And if they don't show that to me, then I'm going to say that you're being a maladministration, bad small master. We're going to put you in a corner and put you in timeout, right? You know, so let's keep it going, right? So technically, we don't need our public servants to go out there and then tell our other servants, our other public servants, that, you know, they need to do this and they need to do that, because, you know, buyer beware, purchaser beware, seller beware, man. That's basically it in commerce, man. You know, so you just need to beware, right? You need to be able to look at and see what you need to see, and you need to have knowledge of what it is that you're doing, right? So no public servant can have that ability, you know, for any man or any woman or any child, right? You know, because we can't delegate that power to you, man. It's really simple. You just need to make sure that the markets are safe, man. That's it. You know, leave our other servants alone, man. You know, so we're seeing that you're trying to mess with our servants through the words, man. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so here goes Echo. Major news outlets have reported that some of the most dangerous propagators of inaccurate information regarding this sickness are licensed healthcare professionals. Keyword, license, right? So when you have a license, that means you fall under the jurisdiction of the Constitution or whatever state it is that you're in, which means that people are on top, right? You know, people are man, woman, child, right? They're the bosses of all constitutions, right? And then the constitutions create, you know, that's the contract that we wrote up for all of our public servants, you know, to operate under, right? And then all businesses operate within there, right? You know, so if you have a business title after your name, if you've registered your business with the state, if you have any type of registered information with the state, that means you fall under the jurisdiction of the Constitution, which means we, the people, are the bosses of you, right? You know, and then what we do is that we delegate this power and this ability to our legislatures who make the law, and then our executives who carry out the law, and then our judges who judge the law, right? You know, and then that's it, right? They can't mess with it any more than that, right? But then when we start to notice that they're trying to slow down our markets, right, our commercial markets through their words, right, then we're going to come after them for maladministration, bad small masters, man. We're just going to come at you right now, man, because right now I'm starting to see that AB 2098 looks like maladministration, because you're trying to slow down the market from the people, which is going to make me not happy. And when I'm not happy, you know, that means that you're not doing your job. Okay, remember that. Check it out. You know, major news outlets have reported, who gives them the authority, right, that some of the most dangerous propagators of inaccurate, I already read that, inaccurate information regarding this sickness are licensed healthcare professionals, right? You know, these sickness jabs, right? You know, here we go. The Federation of State Medical Boards has released a statement warning that physicians who engage in the dissemination of misinformation or disinformation risk losing their medical license, and that physicians have a duty to provide their patients with accurate science-based information. Okay, so science is another one of those words. It means sense, it means to feel, right? You know, so, you know, who's setting these parameters of where this information comes from, right? You know, first off, who is the Federation of State Medical Boards? I don't know who. This sounds like delegated power. This sounds like a deputy, which means you don't have any power over we the people, which means that you shouldn't be messing with our physicians. You shouldn't be messing with our surgeons, man. You got to remember that, man. You got to know what your role is, man. And if you keep messing with our servants, right, by trying to make rules that bind them, right, which you don't have that ability to make those rules, because if you try to mess with the way that they earn a living, right, and saying that we're going to hold your license over your head if you don't follow what rules we want you to do, which you don't have that ability to make rules for our public servants. Remember that, okay? All of you boards out there who think you can lord over our public servants, man, we're coming after you now, right? This is called instruction, right? You know, so let's keep it going. In misinformation or disinformation, risk losing their medical license. Yeah, you're trying to mess with them. All right, here goes G. In-house resolution number 74 of the 2021/22 regular session, the California State Assembly delegated power. Remember that you're a public servant. All right. Title declared. How can you declare something? Health misinformation to be a public health crisis. Who are you? Who are you to judge what the information is, right? We didn't give you that ability. We didn't give you that power. Okay, public servant, remember that, right? And urge the state of California to commit to appropriately combating health misinformation and curbing the spread of falsehoods that threaten the health and safety of Californians. Okay, you know, so where are you guys thinking you're getting this power from, right? You don't have this ability, you don't have this power, you know, to make these rules. Remember that, okay? Remember that. All right, let's keep it going. Section SEC 2, Section 2270 is added to the Business and Professions Code to read 2270. It shall constitute unprofessional conduct for a physician and a surgeon to disseminate misinformation or disinformation related to a virus, right? Including false or misleading information regarding the nature and risks of the virus, its prevention and treatment, and the development, safety, and effectiveness of the virus's jab. Remember that, okay? B, for purposes of this section, the following definitions shall apply. Now we're getting into definitions. We like this one. Hold on. Let me take a sip, man. We're having fun. We're just hanging out, God, right now. You know, this is cool, man. You know, because it's Labor Day, you know, and people are enjoying the time off, right? You know, because that's just what they do. They don't want to work today, you know, but we always work because we love working for God, man. It's just fun. Cheers. Right. Let's get back to the word, man. Right, check out their words on how they define these things. Right, here goes the definitions shall apply for board. Board means the Medical Board of California. Delegated power. Deputy, you got no power over we the people, right? Or the Osteopathic Medical Board of California. More deputy, another delegated power, which means you have no power over we the people. As applicable, right? Disinformation means misinformation that the licensee, right, so whoever has a licensee, right, you know, deliberately disseminated with malicious intent or an intent to mislead. What does that even mean? Let's keep it going, right? Disseminate means the conveyance of information from the licensee to a patient under the licensee's care in the form of treatment or advice. Oh, really? Okay, so if one of our public servants talks to one of the people who you guys are calling a patient, right, and then they're giving them words and they're saying, hey, check out these words right here. You're saying that if they don't agree with these words that you agree or you want them to say, then you're going to say that that's misinformation and then you're going to take away their license. I don't think you have that power, public servant. I wish for you to show me where you get this power from, man. This is going to be so much fun putting you guys in check on this one. All right, let's keep it going, right? You know, misinformation means false information that is contradicted by contemporary scientific consensus. What? Contrary to the standard of care. So whose consensus are we talking about, right? You know, once again, are these servants of the people? Because if you fall under the Constitution, the jurisdiction of the Constitution, that means we the people are the boss, right? And if we wish to see all information, we want to see it all, right? And then now you're trying to say that you can't give some information out because if it doesn't agree with this other entity over here, which sounds like delegated power, which sounds like a deputy, which means that you don't have any power, because if we didn't elect you, then you don't have the power to tell the people what's up, man. Remember that. It's real simple. Okay, here goes a fun one. 5. Physicians and surgeons means a person licensed by the Medical Board of California or, excuse me, the Osteopathic Medical Board of California under Chapter 5, commencing with Section 2000. Remember that, right? So those are the words, man. Those are the words, right? So basically, all of our public servants, they only have the duty and the responsibility to regulate our markets, right? Commerce, right? And then we have a bunch of other public servants who have titles behind their name, and then they get a license that they can go out there and do work, for the people. And then the people, we can go out there and seek their services, right? By finding these titles and saying, I want to go see what this one can do for me, right? But then as one of the people, I'm a big boy, right? I have dominion over everything because that's what God said. God said, man, you got dominion over everything, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That means I'm the boss, right? So now when I come as boss and I come as boss to come talk to my public servants and say, hey, man, you guys are writing words down and these words don't make any sense. Like, we need to go back to the basics, right? We're instructing you right now, right? We're instructing you right now to leave our markets alone, because what you're doing right now is you're trying to hinder the information that we get in our markets by making up rules, that are going to bind the people that you've given them permission to work, right? So because these people want to work, right, they're going to say what you wish for them to say, because, some of you people think you can take away the ability to work from other people, which you can't, right? But then these people, because they lack knowledge, follow what you say because they lack knowledge, right? And then now you're going to mess up our markets and you're going to try to harm us, right? And that's not going to make me happy. I'm not going to be happy, right? I'm not going to feel safe. I'm not going to feel private. I'm not going to feel like I know what's up, because when I go talk to these people who are supposed to be servants of we the people, right? And then now that I know that you're writing down rules for them to say that, something is called misinformation or disinformation based off of what you say it's supposed to be. And then I'm like, well, who are you to say that? Because your delegated power, who was delegated by another entity, which we delegated power to them, which means that you are a deputy, but deputies have no power, right? So you don't have any power to tell we the people what's up. And you don't have any power to tell our other public servants that they can't talk about things that they see with their eyes, they hear with their ears, and then they process in their mind. And then they say, here, I think that this might be the best thing for you, or this might be the best thing for you. But, because buyer beware, right? Purchaser beware and seller beware. That's it. Those are the rules in commerce, man, according to my man Christ, and then if you don't do that, right? And if you don't have that knowledge to beware, right? So if you can't look and see and know things, right, then I don't know what you're going to do, man. So this was a fun one right here, man. This is just showing me that our public servants, they lack knowledge, right? They can't even read their own words. But then I'm not sure if they're trying to cause harm to we the people by interfering with our markets, by trying to slow down our markets, by making them difficult for the people with a license in the market to do what they need to do. I don't know, but we're going to find out, man. Oh, well, that's it. I'm done with this bit, so, just know, that public servant Assembly Bill number 2098 in California, that's a no-go, no show. You can't do that stuff right there, right? So if you try to bind our surgeons and our physicians from actually going out there and finding the best available information for we the people, right? Because you think that they should read it from something else, which has no ability and no power to do, then we're coming after you, man. We're coming after you for maladministration. We're coming after you for treason. We're coming after you for insurgency, man. Because it sounds like you're trying to flip things from up underneath, man. And we don't like that anymore, okay? So yeah, that's it, man. I think we got this one, God. All right, so that's it. We're done. So we just laid out Assembly Bill number 2098, and then we're just showing you how delegated power, you know, like you cannot delegate power, right? And then you cannot create deputies. These are maxims of law, man. Maxims, right? You know, which means they're the great law, you know, because God is on top. Man, woman, child, people are number 2 in command. And then we wrote the constitutions that all of our public servants work in, man. So remember that. If you got a title, right, that means you're a servant of we the people. You can't get away from that one, all right? I'll talk to you in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.